how that guy's not the number one rated tailback in the country, I don't know. But number one environment in the country probably last night, arguably, and then not an argument it was the number one game of that particular Friday for sure. So blessed to be there. Been wanting to kind of check out that game to begin with. Obviously, we've recruited athletes from both schools in multiple sports, and you can see why. I mean, just the alumni's enthusiasm kind of reminded me of All Nation, and then overall, it was a phenomenal game, but you knew it was a matter of time. If you're handing the ball off, the game's probably going to go Baylor's way. But they'll meet again, so maybe it'll be a different outcome next go.
Did Henry Ford give you any, idea of what to expect from that type of environment?
Yeah, and Amari Jefferson's on our team, and he was originally a baseball commit to us. Other people, I'm forgetting names. I'd like to give a lot of people credit, but I got super nervous getting out of my car. I was in my practice clothes still, so I just wanted the most neutral colors ever, and I grabbed the wrong hat and didn't realize I had a navy hat, very neutral gray on, but had a blue hat on, so I'm not on anyone's side. I don't want my tires getting slashed, or I heard there was, people throwing eggs and shooting paintballs and stuff like that in the past. Hopefully everything was peaceful and the competition was on the field.
And then to come out here and see the crowd you got at Chattanooga, what does it mean, to have the fans come out like this?
Yeah, it was surprising at how great of a crowd it was, just because there's a lot going on. A lot of times we've played these games on a Sunday when there's not college sports going on, Major League Baseball playoffs. It's a different timing-wise than we used to do. But the people showed out, and they were enthusiastic, and they were into the game. And then most people stayed till the very end of the game, which for an inter-squad or a split squad type situation was surprising to me, but our guys kind of kept them on the edge of their seat all the way through that thing, which was nice. When he stays in his swing, it's two very different individuals, Blake Burke and him. But Blake Burke was a kid that is a freshman. When he took his best swing, you wanted to take a picture of it or make a painting. It was so gorgeous. And just a pretty swing is a better way to say it, a little more manly way to say it. But just a really good-looking swing, and Blaine's is like that too when he uses it. But a lot of these guys get charged up with adrenaline. They want to impress. They want to earn a job. And sometimes he'll get out of that swing. But when it's as effortless and kind of true to who he is, like the first couple ABs he had, it's as good of a swing as we have on our team.
What do you learn about freshmen living in this environment for the fans for the first time?
I think they learn more about themselves than we do, because what we're going to do, and call it low standards if you want, but we're going to kind of chalk it up to the first time a lot of people have played at this level of competition in front of this group of people. And then, there's a sense to want to, the people show out, there's a sense to want to kind of give them their money's worth. And so all those factors involved, when you combine it maybe being the guy's first time, whether it's Appy starting the game or Ethan Moore's at second, all the freshmen that played today, I don't want to say it's a mulligan, but they need reps. And the more reps you get, the more comfortable you're doing it. It's a big part of why we're doing it. So I think they probably learn a lot about themselves just being, in this environment we had today.
Just how much fun is it for you and your team to be out here and interact with the greater part of All Nation here in Chattanooga?
Yeah, I think it's a blast for the guys. They were saying that as they were kind of shaking hands at the end. I think our whole staff, support staff, it kind of enjoys a change of scenery and a heightened sense of just everything, whether it's environment or competition. And then for me, I'm glad the questions have been general about the game so far, because it kind of stinks. You'd like to interact with the fans, and you'd like to be locked into the game. And for today, normally it's just us playing someone else, but we kind of had to juggle two teams and make sure guys were in the right spots. So the world was spinning pretty quick for me there, but nonetheless, it's always a blast.
Tony, did you ever think you'd see the day where, this thing was thrown together in less than 2 weeks, as far as it being announced here that 4,000 people would be here?
Well, not when we originally got hired, because Coach Elander, for recruiting purposes, has great pictures of SEC games, nice weather, in our first spring, and there's nobody in the stands. There's a few people that have been really loyal to this program through thick and thin, but there was nobody. And now when we travel, we've been able to do some historic things, whether it's record crowds in our park, record crowds in minor league stadiums or neutral site fields, and then record crowds in other SEC, venues for the regular season. So that was not a part of our plan, but I think we enjoy it. And hey, if there's, some talk about us, certain teams we've had where we got a lot of fans, we got a lot of people that are the opposite of that, whatever that is, that's cool. College baseball is growing, and we kind of want to do our part.
Obviously, Henry Ford transferring in. What has he added to this team?
I think a sense of maturity, because he's a really intelligent kid, and he's not afraid to chime in, and he's got a feel for when to do it, whether it's in a meeting or a group setting or just approaching a coach. And so there's a definite sense of maturity, which is key because our team is so young. We have so many new faces, and we don't have that type of team where you got a bunch of guys returning, especially on the position side of things. So he's not the only one either, but there's some guys, on both sides of the ball, pitchers and position guys that are new to our program, but they haven't been shy about leading. So that theme needs to stay consistent for us to be the best version of ourselves. And then obviously, he's really talented. He didn't have his best game at third, but he's been great at third base on the days prior to this, and then can control the whole outfield. So he does a lot of things for us other than just hitting balls for him.
Two specific freshmen, real quick. DJ McDowell, I think he went 3 innings, which is the most out of anyone today. Obviously, you were cycling through people, but he stood out because he gave up no runs. And then Taylor Tracy hit that massive home run as well. What about those two guys have you liked?
Well, Tracy's done that already. I think, maybe it's 4 home runs and 15 at-bats. And, I don't expect him to, J. Pierre Encibia hit 3 his major league debut, and he's a phenomenal player. But you got to realize over the course of the sample size, the guy's not going to be King Kong his freshman year, although I'm all for him proving me wrong. But it's been pretty positive at the plate for him. And then on top of that, I think, just to be honest, I think the steam had kind of built more on the offensive side for him with the draft as opposed to the pitching side. But the pitching side's been really, really good. So it's kind of nice with him and Hank and Blaine Brown, like, which are they better at? What are they going to be? I don't think we have those answers, but I think if all 3 guys want to push forward with doing, both things or doing the pitching deal and hitting, they got every opportunity in the world because they've shown that they're pretty dang good at it. And then who did I miss besides
McDowell?
Yeah, he was good. He was saved the day because the way we had the pitching lined up, it was going to be a stretch to get 9 innings. Nick Abraham was a swing man for both teams, and that's how it ended up. But we were able to get through 9 innings because of him throwing strikes, and he's been that guy. DJ's been really good. First inning, he got batted around real good at Lindsey Nelson Stadium, but he's never stopped throwing strikes, and for the most part, he's gotten outs.
Though it's early on, what do you think this team's identity is at this point?
That's interesting because I think so far it's been one of enthusiasm and energy. They want coaching, and I think the team chemistry is where it should be for this point in the year. If we stay static in this spot, it's not going to be pretty down the road. But those are just some thoughts that roll out. I'm hopeful I'm right about the pitching. I think much more than last year, we'll have some guys that will be excited about their role, and we'll have some pieces as opposed to just who's the next best guy. It's a lot to put together a full SEC weekend on the mound. And then offensively, whether it's Coach Q, Coach Elander, or our guys just working hard, we've done well on the offensive side in our time in Knoxville, and we want to keep that momentum going. And I think if you just base it off today, there were some really good-looking swings. So I think we'll be able to handle the battle a little bit. Defense, we'll see. We've been moving the guys around like crazy. Nobody complains, which I love because there's been guys I've coached before that complain, so they're just geeked up to try and earn a spot somewhere out there defensively.
And then Bo transferring in from Kennesaw State, how has he added to the back end of that pitching staff?
Yeah, I think, kind of picking up where Tanner Franklin kind of handed him the baton. Those guys were buddies, and I know he learned a lot about the program from Tanner once he decided to make a move. And I'll tell you what, kind of the same deal. Great teammate, not scared to compete. And then when he's gotten in there, he's shown kind of a different look. That was the talk about him this summer at the Cape Cod was he had a successful summer, and all the scouts kind of mentioned it's a different look. It's a different arsenal than your average guy. And when you start using either relievers or starters, regardless of where these guys end up, the more you can mix up the looks to the offense, the more difficult it's going to be on them. Anybody else? Anything else? All right.
Thank you.